while eating or with an object. What is choking actually in toddlers? Choking is something that we have to talk about. With these tubes, I have to tell you the orientation of these tubes in relation to our breathing tube and feeding tube. In the front, you will see this corrugated tube, which is our breathing tube, which leads to the lungs. And at the back, you will see the other tube, which is our feeding tube, which will carry the food into the stomach. These are in relation to each other, right next to each other, with the breathing tube in front of it. When you eat something, when we all eat something, there is a flap that covers the front tube, which is the breathing tube, so that the food slides slowly inside the feeding tube. But sometimes things go the wrong direction, and such as in this case with my carrot, instead of going closing the flap and going into the feeding tube, if it gets caught in the breathing tube, then there are issues with oxygenation and breathing and choking. Not only as low as the breathing tube, but this blockade can happen at the back of the mouth and in the area which we call the pharynx. So it can be anywhere between the mouth and the feeding and the breathing tube, this blockade. And this is not an area where we're going to cover all of the resuscitation, but we're going to talk about what to do if something gets caught in this free-range toddler's mouth. If you see something, now I see something in his mouth, then I can easily take it out without delay, immediately. But if I see that the baby is coughing to take it out, but is actually stuck, I can give the baby some strokes and support so that the baby can continue to cough. Coughing is an excellent reflex to get the things out of your airway. But if we give too many blows and if we get too excited, then the baby may actually choke on the food that's really in front where the baby is trying to cough it out. So be calm when someone is choking, but at the same time coughing, is able to cough. We really like to support cough with calm behavior around the person who is choking. Let's say the food is really stuck at the back of the throat and the patient is unable to take it out. Then take off the shirt or bib, whatever there is, so that you can actually observe and do the right things and pat the patient at the right spots. The right spot for this toddler would be at the back. We're going to give back blows at the back of his chest between the two scapula, right in this area. So we're going to hold the patient's head and try to give these strong back thrusts, like 5 back blows that we're going to actually thrust to the front so that the blocked food can come out. Then we turn the patient and see if it has come out. It has really moved outside, so we can take it out. But let's say it's still stuck. For this patient's size, being a toddler over 1 year, we're gonna take the toddler in between our legs and we're gonna hold our 2 hands like this, and right in the spot between the soft part of the abdomen, right at the end of the ribs, right in the middle, we're gonna give the baby 5 maneuvers that we're gonna press from the soft spot upwards. And we call this a Heimlich maneuver, and as you can see, it also pushes the food towards the outside of the patient's mouth. And these are the 2 maneuvers that we can do to help this free-range toddler with the food stuck in the mouth. And please watch this in your free time, not during an emergency.